Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for taking the time today to watch this pre-recorded webinar. My name is Jodine Baker, Vice President of Research, Advocacy, and External Relations at Imagine Canada. I will be moderating today's session. I'm joined today by Wilfrida Edward, the Executive Director of the Canadian Centre for Nonprofit Digital Resilience, and Lisa Everett, AI Skills Director at Microsoft Elevate. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that this conversation is taking place across many Indigenous territories. While we're joining from different parts of the country, we recognize the enduring presence, rights, and contributions of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and we're grateful for the opportunity to gather and work together on this land. For today, we wanted to create a concise walkthrough that brings together two complementary pieces of work focused on AI in Canada's nonprofit and charitable sector. First, the State of AI Adoption in Canada's Nonprofit Sector report, recently released by Imagine Canada in collaboration with the Canadian Centre for Nonprofit Digital Resilience and the Nonprofit AI Impact Hub, developed by the Canadian Centre for Nonprofit Digital Resilience. This work was made possible with support from Microsoft Elevate. I'd like to welcome Lisa to start us off with a few opening remarks. Lisa?
Thanks so much, Jodine, and thank you to CCNDR and Imagine Canada for the invitation to join today's session. And welcome to everyone to this conversation about change, challenges, and opportunities that we're seeing in this new era of AI transformation. The incredible team from CCNDR is going to share today some top insights and learnings from the recently released AI Index report. But first, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Lisa Everett, and in my role as National AI Skills Director, I have the privilege to lead the mandate of Microsoft Elevate across Canada. So you might be asking yourself, what is Microsoft Elevate? Elevate is the successor to and expands upon Microsoft's long-standing work to expand opportunities for everyone through AI skills and investments across the nonprofit and education sectors. Elevate represents our new chapter for corporate philanthropy under a social business model. As we had through our Tech for Social Impact and Microsoft Philanthropies organizations, this new organization combines our technology solutions and skills training resources to support educators and nonprofit professionals such as yourselves, with innovative solutions for learning. Elevate will operate with the commitment to reinvest a share of our profits into our programs for schools, nonprofits, and workforce agencies, and programs like the one you're going to see today. As AI continues to reshape how we live, work, and learn, we do remain committed to equipping people with the skills needed to adapt and embrace AI as a force for positive, lasting change. Together, we will contribute to shaping a future where everyone has the skills, knowledge, and opportunity to thrive in an AI economy. So let's talk about what's meant by an AI economy. AI is the next general purpose technology. General purpose technologies, or GPTs, transform nearly all aspects of society and its economy. These uniquely powerful technologies, like electricity, the steam engine, and now computing, can reshape industries, create new ones, and transform the way people live and work. Broad adoption, fair access, and robust ecosystems are essential for realizing AI's economic potential. Widespread use of AI can uplift communities only when we ensure everyone has access for that shared growth. And so Microsoft's looking at it in three ways. We know we need new systems in place. Number one, infrastructure and tools for innovation, including AI data centers, advanced chips, scalable models, or AI-driven tools. Number two, frameworks grounded in collaboration and fairness, with responsible AI principles as the foundation for AI development, training, and implementation, built in collaboration across private, industry, government, and civil society. And third, what we're going to find out today, AI skills for everyone, from foundational skills and fluency to applied AI for specific roles to advanced specializations. And so when infrastructure, responsible frameworks, and skills come together, we really can realize the full economic potential. And so as the opportunity of AI is only meaningful and impactful to our communities if everyone has equal access, our mission is to expand opportunity by empowering every learner to build digital and AI skills. We have an ambitious plan to deliver this across the world and across Canada, and we're meeting this moment through partnerships. Transformation as impactful as AI can be hard. It's hard for individuals, it's hard for organizations, and it's hard for policymaking. But when we work together to find solutions, new ideas, and new strategies, managing that change can be easier. And so your time today and your insights today contribute to how we meet these challenges and improve the lives of millions of people across Canada. Jodine?
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm now going to spend a few minutes highlighting some of the highest level findings from the research, and then I will be turning things over to Wilfrida to walk through the Nonprofit AI Impact Hub. First of all, at the highest level, what we saw in the research is that AI use is already widespread in the nonprofit sector. 80% of nonprofits reported that they are using AI in some way. That's a really strong signal that AI is not a future issue. It's already part of day-to-day work for many organizations. At the same time, use is uneven. While many organizations are engaging with AI, how deeply and how broadly they're using it varies significantly. This sets up the rest of the story in the data. When we look at how AI is being used, the picture really does become more nuanced. About half of organizations use AI in 3 or fewer activities. So that's the blue half of the graph there. And then only around 20% are using it across 7 or more activities. And on average, nonprofits are applying AI to about 4.5 different tasks. In practice, what this tells us is that many organizations are experimenting or using AI in specific contained ways rather than embedding it completely across their operations. What we also see is that use is often informal and driven by individual staff rather than being guided by organization-wide strategy or policy. So adoption is happening, but it's still shallow for most organizations. The most common areas where nonprofits are using AI is in communications and fundraising at 67%, and for data, information, and evaluation tasks at 50%. These types of tasks tend to be outward-facing or support functions, things like drafting or editing text, summarizing information, brainstorming, or doing background research. They're relatively low risk and a lot easier to experiment with. What is striking, though, is what sits underneath this use. Only 10% of nonprofits have formal AI policies in place, and another 21% are in the process of developing them. This means that nearly 2/3 of organizations using AI have no policies and aren't actively working on any. We also found that use of external support is limited. Just 16% have drawn on formal or informal networks for help with AI, and only 9% have worked with an external consultant. Taken together, this tells us something important. Nonprofits are interested and are already experimenting with AI, but many are doing so without the time, guidance, or governance structures that would help them use AI confidently and responsibly. That's exactly the gap that shared sector-specific resources are meant to address. And with that, I'm pleased to turn things over to Wilfrida Edward, Executive Director of the Canadian Centre for Nonprofit Digital Resilience, who will walk you through the Nonprofit AI Impact Hub.
Thank you so much, Jodine, for that great overview. That's exactly right. The Nonprofit AI Impact Hub was developed in direct response to the gaps that you identified. It's an online bilingual learning and discovery platform that contains hundreds of resources that have been specifically curated to nonprofit needs so that it can support the exploration of practical tools and training that ultimately work to boost understanding and adoption of AI. Now, since Cinder released the hub last October, thousands of nonprofit professionals have accessed the over 600 and growing number of resources available on the hub. Already, We're seeing direct correlation between what the research tells us about the gaps in training and AI policy, where the most popular searches are for upskilling, specifically looking for free and Canadian training and education opportunities. There's also a concentration of activity around AI policy and governance support, and that's just due to concerns with risk mitigation and establishing rules because people know that their teams are already working with this technology. So already we're seeing this incredible uptake to directly address the gap that Imagine Canada's research highlighted. And I'd love to show you how easy and quick this is to do. So let's say you're like me, you're a leader in a small nonprofit, and you recognize that it's highly likely your team is already engaging in AI. Now you want to support them in doing this ethically and responsibly while also encouraging experimentation. So let's dive into the AI Impact Hub as a starting point for your discovery by going to ai.cinder.ca. And I've got it loaded up already, so I'll just share my screen. So when you land on the homepage, you'll see this beautiful cinder purple, first of all. And then as you scroll down, the featured resources are really just the most recent resources that we've highlighted based on what we know people are asking for. When you click on any of these, we'll start with this one here by Skills for Change. You'll get a brief description of what the resource is. You'll see the date so that you know it's the most up-to-date information, and you'll see what type of resource it is, whether it's a course, it's a template, it's a guide, and then you click this lovely purple button here to take you directly to that resource. Now, when you scroll down further, actually on the screen, you'll see this little purple tab here. If you click that Save to My Library, that means that you don't have to continuously search for new things every time. You can go to your library up here and have access to the resources that you prefer at any time you'd like to go back to it. Now, going back to the home page, you'll see that there are other options for how you search. You can search through this search bar here. We have some pre-populated searches available to you based again on popularity, what people are looking for, or you can type directly into the chat to search for popular things. Let's say we're looking for AI. Whoops, let's go back up here. AI, you can see some of the things I've searched for in the past. Policy examples. Click the search button. We'll do a quick refresh. It's always funny when you do live demos. It never works exactly as expected. We'll refresh again. There we go. So once it's loaded, you'll see options available to you based on your searches. What's really great about this is AI is embedded directly into this tool. So it'll give you a brief description of what AI policy is. The AI working in the background will also save what you're searching so that when you come back, it learns your behavior so that the platform is really tailored to those behaviors. And then you have the option of scrolling through and choosing what's most relevant to what you're looking for. Now, if searching using keywords isn't your thing, you also have the option of browsing through the entire resource library. You can filter your topics, your selection by topic on the left here, or you can use the filters up top, giving you the option to select based on the type of resource, your skill level, whether it's foundational, practical, or more advanced material that you're looking for. You can also search by specific roles within nonprofit work, for example, fundraising, or if you're looking for governance tools or programs tools. And then, of course, you can search by whether you're looking for free resources or for paid ones. And there's one other really neat thing that I'd like to show you at the bottom. We understand that this work is evolving all the time, and that the AI ecosystem is moving at a rapid pace, and we may not cover everything. So if you're looking for something that you don't find here, if you're aware of something that exists that you think should be included, we invite you to share a resource down here at the bottom. You click that button, it'll take you to a form. You can You can insert the URL directly to the resource that you're aware of, add a quick description and your contact information so that we may follow up if we need to. And in this way, the hub becomes this entity that belongs to the ecosystem. We're all working together to make sure that we all have access to these tools and can stay up to date on what we need to know. It truly embodies the role that Cinder is meant to play in the sector. We know, again, that there's great information out there for nonprofits, and we're here to help point you in the right direction to find what's most relevant to your specific context. As the starting point, the hub really helps to cut through the noise and the time it takes to find credible, trusted resources so that you can get on your way to learning and building your confidence in AI and technology so that ultimately you can leverage it to deliver on your missions. If you're using the AI Impact Hub and you have questions, please reach out to us. You can do so through the contact form, again, that's on the very bottom of the page, very easy to find. Click that and send us a message. Now, speaking of questions, Jodine, I know we have some that people submitted, so I'll hand things back over to you.
Thank you, Wilfrida. The question that we had come in, I think you've actually covered them, and it's very timely. So we had put this webinar promo out, and someone asked, where can nonprofits go for more information on how AI can be used and training on how to use AI? So I think we've answered that question. And the only other question that came in is someone just wondering, do we know of any resources where folks can go to get financial support? So we know that finances can be a barrier sometimes for folks who are looking for that training and resources. So someone was wondering if anyone on our panel today might know of where people can go to find those financial resources. So Wilfrida, maybe I'll see if anything comes to mind for you from the Cinder perspective.
For me, it's a great question, and I wish I had a resource right off the top of my head to be able to give them. I would recommend going on the hub and using those fundraising filters to be able to identify what's available, and I will do that right now and get back to you.
That sounds great. And so those are the only two questions that came in, but as Wilfrida mentioned, we've got contact information on both Imagine Canada's website as well as Cinder's if anyone has any follow-up questions. And so I think we will bring this to a close, and I will just say this. The message from this work isn't that every nonprofit needs to adopt AI in the same way or at the same pace. It's really that nonprofits need trusted, practical, and values-aligned pathways to learn, experiment, and decide what makes sense for their work. So we will include links to both the research reports and the AI Impact Hub alongside this recording. Thank you again to Microsoft Elevate for supporting this work, and thank you to all of you for watching.